You will be a hothead too and think the world is either black or white. Part 1. Gerak Budaya. Dr. Azli. Dear Paprika, last night an old friend messaged me privately asking if I supported Dr. Azli. From reading posts on the internet, here is what I understand about the problem. Dr. Azli is a professor, author and speaker. He has spoken a lot about racism in our country and the negative effects it has on our country. He was supposed to give a talk, Malaysian Apartheid, Education and Anti-Racism at Gerak Budaya, GB, but the editors decided to cancel the event when they found out that Dr. Azli had posted #AllLivesMatter, ALM, on his social media account. He was given a written notice which Dr. Azli shared on his Facebook. He felt he was unfairly treated and I dare say he was angry at being cancelled. As I write this letter to you, there are riots in the USA as people fight for Black Lives Matter after a viral video of cops allegedly killing George Floyd while arresting him. All over the world, everyone is calling to support the BLM movement, and any other stand is deemed, as the editors of GB put it, unjust and harmful. Then, the owner of GB, a man affectionately known as Pak Chong, wrote an apology to Dr. Azli. Dr. Azli also put the apology on his Facebook and called it a gentlemanly reply. My friend who contacted me last night said, "What is also gross is how Pak Chong threw his team and youth under the bus. I'm very disappointed." End quote. Now, this friend of mine is someone I respect and admire, and not some faceless social justice warrior. So, what do I make of it? I think I'm not wrong in assessing these three conclusions from the situation. 1. Dr. Azli prefers to champion all lives matter, and that includes black, white, etc. The Gerak Budaya team's cancellation could have been worded more tactfully to Dr. Azli. And 3. Pak Chong did not throw his young team under the bus, but he threw himself under the bus to save them. Let me explain. For number 1, only black lives matter? What about other lives? Don't they matter too? Of course they do. So Dr. Azli is not wrong to champion all lives matter. In fact, I know a guy who did not understand why BLM and not ALM. So for a long time, while people chanted Black Lives Matter, he chanted All Lives Matter because he thought, why not? Hispanics are treated badly in the USA. Hong Kong police are beating young men and women fighting for their future. Indians in Malaysia are denied many rights. So yes, all lives matter. Then last week, someone shared a comic explaining why Black Lives Matter and not all lives matter. It is not that all lives don't matter, but the pressing issue is Black lives matter right now. So when we call for anything else right now, it dilutes the movement, shifts the focus, stretches their efforts, and since then, this guy has been also chanting #Black Lives Matter. Can you guess who that person is? Yes, it was me. So it is not that Dr. Azli disagrees with BLM. People have been fighting for BLM for a long time, and yet it is still a problem. So this time they want to see real change, a permanent change for Black Americans to be treated as equals once and for all. This is what Dr. Azli told me in a private message. #Black Lives Matter too, because #All Lives Matter. This is what I believe in. As one who understands American society and politics and has taught US history and American studies as well for 10 years, this is what those angry at me do not understand. Where I'm coming from, asking me instead to revise my views or to repent. Instead, what Dr. Azli received from the editors of Gerak Budaya was a curt reply stating, "If you say ALM, then you are stupid and we will not be associated with stupid people who don't understand why BLM." Let me tell you, I'm certain this is what Dr. Azli is thinking. Dr. Azli is thinking to himself, Who are these idiot editors at Gerak Budaya? Who are they to correct me and tell me that I'm wrong? I'm an academic and have a PhD to my name. I'm a prolific author who has been standing up for human rights even before they have even heard of the term. Do they think they understand human rights better than me? End quote. If the editors were me, I would have talked to Dr. Azli first to ask why he's championing ALM and not BLM. I would try to explain to him why the focus should be on BLM at the moment. Instead, the young editors jumped to the conclusion that if you're not with me, then you must be against me. This is typical of young people. Thankfully, this kind of thinking will mellow out as we get older. In retaliation, Dr. Azli posted post after post about the situation, adding fuel to the fire. And why not? You want to burn him? Okay then. Now he will take you down with him in flames. Dear Paprika, don't you think that there is a better way to handle this situation? Well, thankfully, there is. I will continue explaining points 2 and 3 in my next letter. Just know this. Before you do something, especially when it involves an old person, stop and think carefully. Be like me and sleep on it, lest I make a fool out of myself. Your loving father, Daddy.